Over here in the sidebar, I have a number of different settings boxes that are also shown to me here. Up at the top here, I have the box that is actually used to publish the content on my live website. All I have to do is click on Publish right here, and it's instantly live on the public website. But there are also other options available to me here. If I'm sitting here working on a page and I really want to see what this page is going to look like before I go ahead and publish it, I could click on the preview button and it will open up a new window for me and show me what this page will look like using the current content and settings that I have provided for it here. If I wasn't quite finished with this particular post that I was creating and I wanted to be able to come back to it later and finish it before I published it, I could simply save it as a draft, and then I could come back in and edit it, and it won't show up on my live website until I actually click this publish button here. Now, in addition to that, there are these little edit links next to each of these items listed right here. Some of these items are actually kind of useful. For example, in the visibility, if you click on edit, it expands some additional options and settings for you. Typically, most of the pages that you build will be public pages, but you also have additional options, like you could create a private page where this would only allow other administrators of your site to be able to view that content. Or you could create password protected pages where if you wanted to create that page that you didn't want in search engines picking up, in addition to keeping search engines from indexing the page, you could also password protect it and simply provide that password once people sign up for a newsletter or something, so they could gain access to that particular page. It's a really simple way of protecting content. It's not absolute protection. Obviously, people could still share that password because it would be the same password from one user to the next. But for the amount of work that it actually takes to put something like this together, it's a really simple way to kind of accomplish that and still get at least some degree of protection from keeping people from accessing this page that haven't actually gone through whatever process it is that you would want them to go through to be able to access the page, like signing up for a newsletter. So it's a way to avoid having to set up a more complicated system while still getting some of the benefits from a more complicated system. But typically, again, most of the pages you create will just simply be public pages. The next item here, this publish immediately. If I were to go through my site and build a bunch of different content pages, perhaps in one single day, let's say I actually hired an outsourcer and had them write me a bunch of different articles, and then I went to go load them up on my site. If I simply went through and created the pages and clicked the publish button after each one, it would basically look like my entire site was all created and written in a single day. But if I wanted to try to space out that content over time a little bit, I could go through and instead of immediately publish everything, I could publish it for a future date and time. So I could kind of space out my content and have something new posted every day or every couple of days or whatever the case was going to be. So perhaps my 20-page site would look like it was built over the course of a month instead of in a single afternoon, perhaps. When it comes to search engines and building up your website, they do want to see a site appear to be more naturally built instead of just simply not being there one day and being there, completely done the next day. I think it's a better way to go to kind of add the pages and let them be published to your site as you go through and create your content for them, so it appears to be a little bit more natural in terms of the dates.